Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Courtney. I write under the pen names Lyra Parish, and I'm one half of the USA Today best-selling duo Kennedy Fox. And today we're going to talk about how to become a USA Today best-selling author. This is a topic that we get asked a lot of questions about, and I thought that I would kind of break it down for you to answer some of those questions that you may not be so familiar with. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the list is the top 150 books in the US that is a combined print and ebook. And one thing to note is this is only for US sales. International sales do not count toward this. So a really cool thing is the top 50 books that make the list are printed in the newspaper every Thursday, and the rest of the books for the 150 are released in e-format that you can get on Thursday as well. So the way that the sales count is it's Monday through Sunday. So I know that some of you may ask, well, Courtney, why do traditional and indie authors typically release on Tuesday? And that's because the way that pre-order works, they hit your sales account based on the time zone. And so whenever you release on Tuesday, you'll get a percentage of your sales that hit on Monday, and a large portion of them hit on Tuesday. So you release on Tuesday, so then whenever you have a pre-order, which most traditional publishers do and indie authors do who are wide, it will count on both days, so then you don't lose any of those sales. For USA Today, it is important to note that you cannot just be in Kindle Unlimited. You have to be on several different platforms. We're going to go ahead and talk about numbers, and this is a part that a lot of people are interested in. Like, how many books do I have to sell to make USA Today? And what I have personally found is you need to have around 5,500 at the lower mark to be at the further end of the list. So that is 5,500 books, and I always thought that you needed to have at least 500 sales on platforms other than Amazon. But I have polled different authors that I know who have recently made the list, and one person told me that she only had around 200 sells on the other websites. I think it was between Barnes, Kobo, and Apple Books. Whenever we made USA Today, it was around the 500 mark, so I just assumed 500 was the number, but I have been proved wrong. I don't actually know what the number is, but I do know for certain that it cannot just be sales on Amazon. It needs to be Amazon and somewhere else. But it's good to know that you can make it with as little as 200 sales on other platforms. Most authors sell a lot on Amazon. Since we have pulled our books from Kindle Unlimited and we are now wide again, I have found that Amazon and Apple Books are pretty much neck and neck. In third place, y'all, is Google Play, but Google Play doesn't count towards USA Today, or at least that's what it says on the website. And Kobo and Barnes & Noble are pretty much equal to each other. Kobo does better than Barnes, but so some of you may ask, well, when did y'all make USA Today? We made USA Today 4 times in 2017 on This Is War, This Is Love, This Is Reckless, and This Is Effortless. I believe it started in January, and it was every other month that we made it that year. It was a crazy year, guys. I never expect to make lists ever, and I remember the first time that we made it, Brooke asked if she could call me at work, and like, she never calls me during the day. And she told me, and I remember being in my office and I just like sat there and just like, I busted out crying because I was so shocked. I didn't expect it. And I think that's the best way to go at it with these lists. I know that it's a bucket list item for a lot of people. I know that it's a dream goal, and I do think that it is attainable, but sometimes people focus so much on that it can steal their joy if they don't make it. So the week that you release, you have to keep in mind all the other books that are being put out that same week, because that is your competition whenever you publish and you're trying to make lists. So I say 5,500, but if there's a lot of really big traditionally published books that release that week, or some really huge heavy hitters in the indie scene, I think that you might have to sell a little bit more. I just know know each time that we have made it, it has been over 5,500, over 6,500, and you can see that in the varying numbers that we were ranked on the list. Also, what I really enjoy about the USA Today site is if you ever want to know if an author has made USA Today, all you have to do is go to the website, which the link will be down below, and you can type in that author's name and it'll tell you each time that they made that list. It's not like the Amazon best-selling author status where you just have to take someone's word for it. There's actually a record for this, and it's super cool to go back and look, guys. I'm pretty sure I saw books that had made USA Today in the 90s, which is a cool thing to look at. I know that some of you may be wondering why we haven't made USA Today since 2017, and that's mainly because at the very beginning of 2018 we decided to pull all of our books from being on all platforms, and we enrolled them into the Kindle Unlimited program until the middle of 2019, which was just a few months ago. So we weren't eligible to make those lists anymore. And you know, hindsight is 2020. Like, I kind of look back at that and I'm like, man, maybe we shouldn't have done that. But what's done is done, and a really hard lesson was learned. And right now what we're trying to do is to rebuild our audience on all platforms. It has been really great, guys. You all know that I am pretty much a Kindle Unlimited hater. If you haven't seen my video about the pros and cons of Kindle Unlimited and being wide, I'm just gonna link these videos forever. Go check them out if you are wondering what you should do. Making USA Today was a huge accomplishment, especially because we had launched our name in October of 2016, and in January, I believe, is when we made it. It might have been December. It's a little fuzzy. I've slept since then. It was a really cool thing, and to make it again, and then again, and then again, it was just like mind-blowing. I'm super thankful for being able to have that title as Kennedy Fox. And it was just a huge accomplishment to be able to do that, because we worked really hard on those books, and we're still working really hard. And I don't think that we'll never make USA Today again. I just think that it's going to take a little bit of time because we're basically new on the wide platforms. While we did keep our pre-orders up wide, that was basically for our readers who had already experienced us, who loved our books, who would pre-order. So we didn't start at ground zero whenever we put our books back wide, but we kind of did. You know, I have no regrets. I think that I learned a very valuable lesson being in Kindle Unlimited. Being wide is where it's at, and USA Today is a really cool thing, and I really hope that all of you get to experience that someday. And I know that many of you want to, and I really think that if you try hard and you have the whole package, you know what I'm gonna say. You have a great cover, a blurb, an amazing preview, an awesome book. You will sell books and people will fall in love with your words. And you know, USA Today, you'll make it. New York Times, you'll make it. I really believe that as indie authors, we are good enough. As long as you've got that package and you look at this as a career professionally, USA Today is not out of anybody's reach. I hope that cleared up some questions that y'all have about the USA Today bestseller list. If you have any other questions, as always, feel free to leave them below. You know that I try to reply back to all of your comments. If you're not subscribed, I hope that you do, and make sure that you hit that bell, guys, because every time I upload a video, you will get a notification. I appreciate you all so much for being here. You know that I love YouTube and I love chatting with y'all down below. I hope you have an amazing, awesome week. You accomplish all your goals and you write all the words. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye, guys.